Hey everyone, happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed doing what you love to do. I did, watching sports, college football, NFL, um, some fun games to watch this past weekend. Locally, IU, that was a game that everyone was watching on the calendar nationally. I thought IU would win that game. I just thought, they're at home. These teams are kind of looked at about similar, but it's so early in the season. I don't even know why they have rankings right now. Two things I was sure of. One was Illinois was not the eighth best team in the country as they were ranked. I had watched them. I thought they were one of the most overhyped teams going into the season. Not to say they're not good, just eighth really. And hats off to IU. They played outstanding, but Illinois showed nothing. So IU marches on. They go to Iowa this week, and then they go to Oregon. So we'll see. They should handle Iowa. I know everyone thinks that's a tough game on the road. I get it, Kinnick Stadium, but Iowa can barely score 20 points in any given year. So I don't know how IU doesn't win this game. Ball State Cardinals. Hey, they didn't win, but they covered the spread. I took them at 21 points. I thought that was just the number that was mathematically worth taking at UConn. This is not the UConn basketball team. Although Ball State football against the UConn basketball team probably would be a pretty good game too. Having said that, Ball State looked much better this week. They covered. They lost by something like 6. So I'll take that. Notre Dame bounced back big time against Purdue, as I was very sure they would. That spread was somewhere in the ballpark of 24, and Notre Dame clobbered them. So uh, that is what it is. I think Notre Dame is a very good football team. Yes, they're 0-2 out of the gate, but those were tough games. And so we'll see. They should be able. They very easily can't, not very easily, but they very likely could run the table the rest of the way. Will 10-2 Notre Dame be good enough to make the playoffs? We shall see. One thing's for sure, given IU's schedule, who they've played to this point, who they have coming up still left this season on Maryland, Purdue. There's a few others I'm not remembering at this point. They got Oregon and Penn State. They win one of those games, and they're in. They lose two, they're probably out. But this game was a must win, in my opinion, for the Hoosiers. And so they'll bump up in the rankings. Illinois will drop. And now IU will be the flavor of the month in the Big Ten. And we'll see if it continues this week at Iowa. The Colts, moving on to the NFL, the Colts start 3-0 for the first time since 2009. And there were a couple games on the slate this week that, I look back and say, gosh, why were you not all over that? Um, IU minus 6.5 was one of them. I just thought they would win the game, and so if they were going to win the game, it was going to be, to me, a touchdown to 10 points, something like that. Um, but I didn't take it, so can't complain. I can complain about not taking the Colts. This was 4.5 points. It moved to 6, and I don't know why. My brain just thought, oh, I could have 4.5, but now it's 6. So what? The Colts were, I wouldn't say never not going to win this game, but if you didn't know how bad Tennessee is before yesterday, you do now. They're bad. Cam Ward, another rookie quarterback in a long list of rookie quarterbacks in this league, struggling mightily, and so he's just they're in trouble, and their coach Callahan, my God, it, these coaches that keep making these decisions, I don't know whether it's going for it at midfield, going for it on the 25-yard line in the opening drive, like Brian Daboll and the Giants did last night. Driving down the field and getting on the 25-yard line, have a chance to get on the board and get up 3-0 on Kansas City, and they go for it on 4th and 2, don't get it. Kansas City goes the other way and kicks a field goal. The Titans apparently thought kicking 62 and 63-yard field goals were just everyday practice, and they did attempt them. They did not make them. They handed the Colts the ball at midfield twice, actually on the Titans side of the field. I have no idea what these coaches are thinking sometimes, but I don't care. The Titans, between their coaching and just how they look on the field, awful, awful team. But give the Colts credit. They did what they're supposed to do, and that is take care of teams like this, and they did it. A lot was made of it being a divisional game, and I get that, but I think within one drive, two drives, it was pretty obvious that the Colts were not going to lose that game. They are playing pretty strong across all aspects, all fronts of the team, and that's offense, defense, special teams. The defense is it's fine. Um, they're doing what they need to do. I wouldn't say they're lights out, but they're making plays here and there. Um, Daniel Jones, managing the game, doing more than that. I think that's a kind of a disrespectful comment, managing the game, but he is managing the game. Uh, he's managing the playbook. He's managing the reads. He's managing uh, making the right throws, throwing it away. A lot of people see throws into the ground and they think, "Oh my God, what a horrible throw!" No, that's just a hey, I'm getting ready to get sacked. I'm getting rid of the ball, and we'll live to fight another down. That's what he's doing, and he's making plays, extending plays. On top of that, two things are well, three things are drastically different with this Colts team this year. One we just talked about is Daniel Jones. The other, and I talked about both these things last year, and I keep talking about them, and I continue to stress it. Their offensive line is so much better this year than it was last year, particularly pass protection. They are playing outstanding. This line is giving Daniel Jones more times than not all the time he needs. What's that do? Well, it keeps a safe pocket for the quarterback. He can make all the reads, right? He's not making read one and then, oh my gosh, here I gotta bail on this thing. He's it's allowing the offense to work. Guys work downfield, across, you name it. So he can read everything and make those plays. And they've got the weapons all around now um, to be able to just mix and match and keep the defense on its heels. And that's what it's looked like to me in the first three games. Is the defenses are just on their heels because Colts are starting off with a steady diet of this and a steady diet of that, and then not sticking with it and mixing it up. And so Tyler Warren, continue to give him credit. That's the third factor. All right. Third factor is Tyler Warren. Makes a world of difference having a tight end, doesn't it? Doesn't it? You just don't win in this league much without really strong tight end play. And Tyler Warren is changing everything. Daniel Jones is playing extremely well. The line's playing extremely well. But I still contend without Tyler Warren on the field. If we went back to last year and went with that tight end core, uh, as our primary tight ends, I don't think this offense runs the same. I don't think Alec Pierce gets his looks down the field. I don't think Jonathan Taylor gets his long runs the way he gets them. I mean, Tyler Warren's laying out blocks. He's where he needs to be. He's a great decoy. He catches the ball more times than not when it hits him in the hand. That extends drives. Those drops, see, they all get forgotten about later on in the game. People just forget about, oh, that drop stopped a 30-yard drive and it would have been a first down and the drive would have continued. Instead, it's 3rd and 13 and they have to punt and et cetera, et cetera. Those are little aspects within the game that I just think the average fan just forgets about and flushes them away when the game's over. And they probably remember one play in the fourth quarter. Uh, but having guys catching the ball, Alec Pierce looks great. Love Alec Pierce. And really everyone else. I mean, Pittman's, this is not, Justin Jefferson here or Malik Neighbors or what have you, but he's very reliable and he's an equal part of the offense, and so that's what I like about it. It's everything's clicking. So we'll see if it continues. They play the Rams on next week. And my God, if you're a Rams fan, what was it? They were up 27-6 at Philadelphia. Philadelphia came all the way back. By the way, one of the games is just what endings in the NFL yesterday. Did you watch these games? This was insane. There were 3 block punts that affected the game within the span of like 4 minutes. It was like, one after the other after the other. The Browns blocked a field goal. I said block punt, block field goals. Browns block a field goal. Green Bay's trying to win the game. They return it and get a first down or two, and next thing you know, they're kicking the field goal and they win the game. That was insane. The Rams give up the big lead. They just go down. They get in field goal range. After all that, they say, "We can get out of town with a W." And Philadelphia blocks the field goal and runs it back the other way for a touchdown. A bad beat, by the way, if you have had 3.5 points and the Rams on that one. A 1 point game, black field goal gets returned the other way for a touchdown. That's insane. But there was just mayhem all around the league, and it was fantastic. That last window, if you will, into the afternoon games was really good. Or I'm sorry, the 1 o'clock games. And then the afternoon games, you had some good innings down the stretch with the 49ers winning. Just a fantastic day in the NFL. Looking forward to next week as well. And finally, looking forward to a couple of things coming up here within the next week. All right, so we've got the Ryder Cup coming up. I'm wearing a TPC Sawgrass hat, kind of getting in golf mode. Has nothing to do with the Ryder Cup, which is being played in New York. But USA should win this. We always say they're favored. They go to Europe and they get their butts kicked. They choked one or two away here stateside, but for the most part, they win. And I expect a lot of rowdy New Yorkers coming out for this one. So U.S. has to win this one. But I like the Ryder Cup. I don't love the Ryder Cup like I used to. I really got geeked out about the Ryder Cup. I don't know. I've kind of backed up a little bit. Backed up a little bit on it. I enjoy the majors more. But, still, it's a cool thing. It's a cool tournament. I like it. The other thing is last week of MLB. So the playoffs start next week. MLB, this is going to be a great week, and there's a lot of neat things going on. The Cincinnati Reds sweep the clubs. The Cincinnati Reds sweep the Cubs in 4 games this week. And now all of a sudden the Reds vault themselves into a playoff position, a tie with the Mets. The Detroit Tigers were in front by 9 games 10 games ago. Well, in the last 10 games, the Detroit Tigers have gone 1-9, and Cleveland has gone 9-1. So Cleveland's made up 8 games in the last 10. That's insane. They're within 1 game. Cleveland's now into the wild card position, and they're tied with Houston, who just got swept by Seattle. Seattle sweeps in 3-0, and now Seattle vaults themselves to the Western Division first place position in the American League. And Houston's battling for their playoff lives. So there's all this stuff going on. Detroit, Cleveland, separated by 1 game for the division, and then the loser of that is fighting for the wild card. Both teams are essentially fighting for the division and the wild card. You have the same thing going on with other teams in the American League. The Boston Red Sox fighting for a wild card, and the Yankees only 2 games behind Toronto, and on and on and on. And now the Reds in play for a wild card, fighting with Arizona and the Mets. It's basically MLB playoffs starts this week. Get on board with it. Pay attention to what's going on. I think the MLB playoffs are awesome. I think they're going to be fantastic. But to me, it starts this week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Have a great week, everyone. I hope you have a good one. We'll be in touch soon. Looking forward to this great week of baseball, like I said, the Ryder Cup, more football to come, but we will talk soon. Take care and have a good day.